What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. And in this video I'm going to be doing my top 5 NFL receivers heading in to 2023, continuing the series of top 5 of each position. And without further ado, let's begin. Now, coming in at number 5, I have Cooper Kupp. And this might be something that a lot of people disagree with, but because of the amount of time Cooper Kupp missed last year, Cooper Kupp played 9 games last year, had 812 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. He would have been on pace for over 1,500 yards if he would have played. Look, I still think Cooper Kupp needs to be in the top 5, and the reason I feel that way is the season prior, his last full season, the guy had the greatest season ever by a receiver, and I firmly believe that. Because sure, he didn't break any record by itself, but he came so close to breaking the catches record, the yards record, and the receiving touchdowns record. He came so close to breaking all 3 of them, and no one has ever came that close to breaking all 3. He won the Triple Crown, and then on top of that, he capped it off with a Super Bowl victory and a Super Bowl MVP. Cooper Kupp had the greatest season in 2021 by a receiver, and I think that still needs to, that can't be obviously that can't be discredited in his all-time thing. That's not that's what some people are saying, but some people want to discredit that for his ranking right now, saying that last year, he didn't play. He played half the year. You can't have him this high up, but he was having a good year up until halfway. I think he still needs to be in the top 5, and I think most people would agree when he's healthy, he's top 3, if not the best. So Cooper Kupp, I have him at number 5. Coming in at number 4, I have Ja'Marr Chase, who now in his first 2 years in his career has over 2,500 yards receiving, 22 touchdowns. Ja'Marr Chase missed 5 games this past year, but I don't think you can. I don't think you could state just how much Ja'Marr Chase means to this Bengals team. I mean, look at the Bengals record without Ja'Marr Chase. And over the past few years in the Joe Burrow era, this team, that offense evolves around Ja'Marr Chase. Without Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd's production goes down. Ja'Marr Chase is vital to this offense, and I don't think there's a receiver right now in football that is more valuable to his team than Ja'Marr Chase. That's not saying he's the best receiver, because I think there's better receivers that have a better surrounding around them. But Ja'Marr Chase, I think he is a valuable piece to that Bengals offense. Coming in at number 3, I have Davante Adams. Now, Davante Adams, over the past 3 years, has established himself as, if not the best, one of the best receivers in the NFL. And, over the past 3 years, he's had over 1,300 yards receiving at least, and at least a total of 11 touchdowns over the past 3 years at least. His new season with the Raiders, I don't think went as planned in terms of team success, but he still had a very dominant year. He had 100 catches, 156, 1,500, over 1,500 receiving yards. He was targeted a whopping 180 times, which is pretty insane if you think about it. He was targeted 10 times per game, which is to be expected because the Raiders didn't really have a pure number 2 receiver, any real reliable option, and then their tight end, Darren Waller, who was one of their, their second top weapon in the passing game after Adams, was out for most of the year. So, when they passed the ball, a lot of it went to Davante Adams. And yeah, he was very reliable for the Raiders. We'll see how he does now in his second year with the Raiders, who have a new quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo, who I believe is an upgrade over Derek Carr if Jimmy Garoppolo can stay healthy. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right now, I have him at number 3. And then coming in at number 2, I have Tyreek Hill. Now, as much as Patrick Mahomes proved himself without Tyreek Hill proved himself without Mahomes and the Chiefs. I mean, Tyreek Hill had the best season of his career by far. He had over 300 yards more than his career high going into this past year. And in 2021, he had 1,239 yards. This past season, he had 1,710, so he beat that by 500 yards. Tyreek Hill had a monster year. It was pretty impressive how he was able to quickly adjust with a completely different quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa from Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, I mean, I was one who thought maybe Tyreek Hill in Miami was not going to be a good fit, and it was obviously a great fit with the season that he had. And yeah, I think Tyreek Hill, you can't no longer say that this guy is a one-trick pony kind of a player. I mean, this guy has proven that he can do anything on the route tree. Um, Not enough can be said about what Tyreek Hill brought to the table for the Miami Dolphins. And yeah, I have him coming in at number 2. And then coming in at number 1, Justin Jefferson, who is on pace to have to hold all the record books. Now, will he do that? Probably not, because he would need to play for 20 years, over 20 years, like Jerry Rice did. But right now, he is on a pace that no other receiver has been on in their first 3 years. In 2020, he had 1,400 yards receiving. In 2021, he had 1,616 yards receiving. And then this past year, he had 1,809 yards receiving. This guy has just been a machine. Tallied a total of 25 touchdowns through his 3 years. In my opinion, I don't think there should be much of a debate here. I think he is the best receiver in the NFL right now. I mean, his route running is the best in the league. The guy is so reliable. He doesn't drop the ball. And he also can come up with these crazy acrobatic catches. I mean, he can be, that explosive play kind of guy, but he can also be that sort of possession receiver. Justin Jefferson, I think, is the best in the game right now by far. Another interesting stat with Justin Jefferson is when Kirk Cousins would throw the ball to him in 2022, Kirk Cousins would have a 118.7 passer rating. That's pretty darn good if you're a quarterback throwing in his direction. The interesting thing and the impressive thing about Justin Jefferson is it's not like he's a big 6'5" receiver. He's only 6'1". He's not that huge, and then he doesn't really have game-breaking speed. Yeah, he's fast, but he doesn't have game-breaking speed that jumps out at you. So he doesn't have those physical attributes that a lot of, I think, players rely on, but it's just his pure talent at the wide receiver position that makes him so good, which I think is what makes a receiver so special in the NFL. Comment down below what you guys think about all this. This is my top 5 wide receivers going into 2023. But other than that, I will see you guys next time.